And I'm also the New York representative of Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. It's a national organization of black law enforcement professionals. We lead police officers, correctional officers, probation officers, sheriffs. We have many members throughout the United States, many members in New York. And what our goal is, other than keeping our community safe and looking out for young brothers like y'all, but expose your young brothers to law enforcement, the positive side of law enforcement. We're going to get into what y'all saw yesterday because I want to talk to you about that, and I want to get your response on what you saw yesterday with the issue of Eric Garner. And that video that you saw could have been me, could have been your father, your uncle, it could have been yourself. So we want to talk about that. You know, not to have any distrust in law enforcement, but understand who you are in today as young black men, and what your responsibility is to yourself, and what your responsibility is to your family.
This guy right here is forcibly trying to lock somebody up for breaking up a fight.
Everybody standing here, they told you I didn't do nothing. I did not sell nothing. Because every time you see me, you want to harass me, you want to stop me, you want to sell cigarettes. I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time. Please just leave me alone. Please, don't touch me. Don't touch me, please.
Hold on.
Listen, don't touch me, please. Do not touch me.
Put your hand behind your back.
I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Most of y'all saw the video yesterday, right? All y'all saw they all saw the video.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna go down the line. When you saw the video, what did you think when you first saw? What was your first thought when you saw the video? I'm gonna start with you.
Well, I was thinking, because you see on the news how a lot of black people get killed, and when I was watching the Eric Garner, and when he said, I can't breathe, one of the cops just listened, because he had handcuffs on. What was he going to do if they got the handcuffs? They could have just took him to jail in the car, but instead they just killed him. They just did too much.
Right. You?
They killed him. When the cops, when HPD came, he's telling them he's tired of them abusing him, threatening him. So one of the guys put him in a headlock, but they put in the handcuffs while the guy put him on the headlock, and then they killed him.
Now that's interesting. You said he put him in a headlock. That's what you saw?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Because they put him in a chokehold, and while he was saying he couldn't breathe, it was still like it was still doing it, but
That's all right. That's all right. That's all you got? Okay. Go ahead.
I think it wasn't fair because the only thing he did was just stop the fight, and then they wanted to arrest him. He said get off. He said get off of him, and then they put him in the chokehold.
What I have to say about the video is that in the beginning, all the man did was break up a fight, and then as the cops came, one of them touched him, and he said don't touch him. Then all like at least more than 5 of them jumped on top of the man, and he was at least 400 pounds. So basically his weight and the cop's weight all was on top of him. That basically stopped him from breathing. And then on the news it said that one of the officers had him in an illegal chokehold. And when the ambulance came, there was this lady that felt his pulse, and then she tried to speak to him and say, "Sir, can you get up?" So, because she know since somebody was videotaping her, and if she would have said something otherwise, she would have probably lost her job.
She did lose her job. I will tell you why. Young man.
I think it's not fair because once the cops got the guy on the floor and they put the handcuffs on him, they should have just got off him because he's big, so he might not really be able to get up like without his hands. So then they would have already knew that he's not going to try to do nothing if he's on the floor.
Young man.
I don't think it's fair because just because you see like a big black person, it doesn't mean that he's gonna do something wrong. It wasn't right to put him in a chokehold. If he can't breathe, and they were stepping on, they was like having knees and stuff on. And he said he can't breathe, he can't breathe. And they didn't want to listen to him.
You didn't go, right?
I don't think it was right how they kept on harassing him and bothering him, and the only thing that I thought that he did wrong was resist arrest.
Okay.
And it wasn't fair how they holding him in a legal chokehold, and when he said I couldn't breathe, they put actually more weight on him. And I didn't think it was fair.
Young man, you saw the video yesterday?
Yes.
And what did you think about the video?
I think it was bad that the police put him in a legal chokehold, and when he said he can't breathe, they just put more weight in him than it was. But he did refuse to get arrested. That's why.
That's what you feel? He refused to get arrested, and that's why they. But was it right for them to put that type of pressure on him, even though he refused?
No.
Now.
Got one more at the end. Got one more right there.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. You saw the video. What did you think?
I think that it wasn't right how he just put him in a chokehold, but the wrong thing that he did was resist arrest. So that's one thing he did wrong, but they still put pressure on him, and the amount of weight he had already, and he said he couldn't breathe, and they just pushed like more weight on him, and there was like a whole bunch of police officers on him, and that wasn't right.
Okay.
And
Now.
And the girls checked his thing, and she knew that he was dead, but she never wanted to announce it.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you didn't do anything wrong, let's say you just standing in front of the store, mind your business, drinking a soda, and the cops come up and they want to put you under arrest. Is it okay for them to put you under arrest?
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't do anything because you just take the goat, you just let them handcuff you and go to the car. And when you get to the station, you tell them what you didn't do, then somebody will come get you. Alright.
No, go ahead. You and then you.
I think it wouldn't be fair. It would be okay if I would just take the arrest because I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
If I was standing there saying like you said, and then the cops just wanted to tell me that I had to do this for no legal reason. Number one, that's against the law. But you can't arrest me unless I do something wrong to you or illegally hit you or hit somebody in front of me. And you can't arrest me because I'm standing in front of the store minding my business like a citizen.
Okay. So what would you do? Like Eric Garner did, and put your hands up when the cop goes to grab you, even though the same situation.
What I would do if you told me that I was arrested, I would still say that I didn't do anything, but I would get on my knees, put my hands up, and let him arrest me. And then I would take him to court. Sue
I didn't get to that part.
him for every red cent he got.
Go ahead, brother.
I wouldn't be first.
Okay. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody?
Well, if the cop said I had to be arrested and I didn't do anything illegal, so I would just get on my knees and let the cops arrest me. And then when I get to the station, I will push my case in. Because if I'm just sitting there drinking a soda, they shouldn't arrest me because if you have like somebody that only seen like a black person 2 times in his life, he might see a big person and think that they're gonna cause harm. But if you're not doing anything and they just want to go crazy real quick, you could just let them arrest you and then push your case when you get to the court.
Okay, you're gonna open up another can of worms there. I'm gonna go with this young man. I'm gonna come back to you.
If I was standing in front of a store drinking a soda and the cops came and said that I was arrested for no reason, I would just say to them, why you arrested me, but I won't put my hands up when they're trying to grab my hands. I'll just keep my hands down so they won't think I'm gonna try to hit them.
Now, if did I get everybody? For that question? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I would not resist arresting those. If I resist it and they catch my hands, it's gonna be more years.
Well, okay. Well, who? Oh, okay.
To say, if I was in front of a store and drinking soda, and the cops just come out of nowhere, and they've been harassing me since the other day and days before. I will at first in my thought in my head I said I was gonna react, but my 2 teachers they said if we react and resist arrest, they will put us in a chokehold.
No, they might.
Well, that's wrong. It's wrong to resist arrest.
Right. Well, and I do not resist the arrest. Do not resist the arrest. We're not condoning Mr. Gardner. Mr. Gardner felt that he was in his right because of the history between himself and those officers. There's a bigger story in that. But with your guys, if a police officer wants to arrest you, you always have the right to ask that officer why, whatever reason, and do not resist. Sometimes they can reach for you, and your natural reaction is to pull back. That's people's natural reaction when they do not want somebody to touch them. But you have to control your thoughts and go with it and make sure that you call your parents if you're under 18 and contact a lawyer or contact people, and you have to follow it with a police complaint. Anybody know what a police complaint is?
A police complaint is something that you can write up and you take it to court with you to file and tell the judge that a certain person
Close. Who else?
I think it's when you write down what happened and tell them why they arrested you. If the cops tell you why they arrested you, and I think it's when you take it to court and prove that you're right and not wrong.
One more. We'll see one more if you get it, and then I'm going to explain what it is.
I think a police complaint is when the police do something to you and you don't do nothing, and you write them up.
There you go. But it doesn't go to court. It goes to the department, and his supervisor does an investigation on whether your complaint is valid or it's not valid. Now, you said something that police look at you as big or something to that manner. Why would they look at you in that manner, being big and threatening?
Because if you have like a couple of white police coming from like a different state, like if they never seen like, cause a lot of black guys are not around, and then they think that you will be like, if they see a big black guy, cause usually when you down there, they're not harmful because like you know everybody. But then they think that if you see a black dude, cause usually when you see a black dude, Usually, if he's a gangster or something, he'd be robbing a bank or something, or he'd be doing something harmful. But not just any black person, cause they would think of you as a big threat.
So you're saying that,
And he was very big.
you're saying that a lot of police, let's take Mount Vernon, they're not from the community, so they don't know the community, and maybe there's a lot of white cops that don't come from Mount Vernon, so they will look at you in a certain way because they don't know you.
No. They will look at you in a certain way because they will see like if you're a big dude, they see that guns sometimes is probably or weapons is not enough, and they see that you can like if you do something bad or harmful to somebody, and then they try to fight you, you could get away easily because like you're big. But cause when they was with Eric Garner, they shouldn't have put him in the chokehold, but I think they just had to get him on the floor. But after they got him on the floor, they should have just put the handcuffs and then leave and like pick him up and put him in the car, because like if he's there and then he's swinging his arms like don't touch me, they think that if they do any more force instead of getting him down, they think that he's gonna start punching in the head and all that. He's gonna start punching because he's like a big dude.
Okay. You, and then you.
I think like white cops from other states see black people as a threat because of our color and our skin shade, and because we're black. I think they see us as a threat because they don't usually hang around white people, and they buy the stuff that they see and they heard about us. They think we're a threat.
Okay. Who was that? Okay, you next.
White people like actually threaten black people because black people don't have freedom. In the old time they were slaves, but white people wasn't slaves in the old time. Plus, white people, Eric Garner got arrested because he was separated a fight, but he didn't need to get arrested because he was just separating a fight, and he's a big dude and he can't run anywhere. If you put the handcuffs on him, he can't run because they have to have a lot of people to pick him up to get him in the car. But I don't know why they had to use more force on him to kill him for no reason, because all he just told them that's to just told the cops to stop harassing him.
Okay.
Because last week he did it, and now this week they did it again.
You right? You and then you. Okay, whoever's next. Which one's next? Okay.
What I have to say about the video that Mr. Jonhson showed us was that he said that most of the stuff that we're about to see really happened, and then he tried to explain to us that what we do in school is okay, but until we get to a certain age, there's certain people that have the right to do it to us, because for right now, like Mr. Ramsey said that in the high school kids, it's illegal for them to put force on them, but for us right now, we kind of get away with it because we're little, and then we don't really understand most of the stuff. But what I have to say is that when the white people say that they have to arrest us, it's for some reason because either they don't like us, they just want to arrest us just to arrest us so they can get more money off of us after they finish the job. And then when they're in the conference room, they say, oh, we got that black man, or this and that. So basically, I'll have to say that what that police officer did to Eric Garner was not illegal and it wasn't right.
Okay.
I think what I was going to say is that, like, since white people, like, if like a white cop came from Pelham and he came to Mount Vernon, he won't really like know about all these like black people standing on the corner, especially a big one like Eric Garner, because he's a big black person and he's tall, whatever. So they're gonna think he's a threat or something to the neighborhood, and they're gonna try to arrest him, even if he didn't do nothing.
In the past, like what Zion said, black people used to be slaves. But like like paper towels and stuff like that, they're white because white people had us as slaves back then. All I gotta say is, if you see a white cop, just don't react in a natural way. Just make them arrest you.
How many of y'all know a black cop? Okay. Okay. How many of y'all conversate with a black cop? Yeah, conversate. Talk to. Okay, that's good. How many of y'all know black female cop? How many of y'all know your black commissioner? The commissioner is the head of the police department.
Police commissioner.
Chief.
The commissioner, the head of the police department.
Have you ever went here?
No, do you know who he is? Nobody knows who he is.
I know somebody like the sheriff, like me, like he was.
Well, for Mount Vernon, strictly for Mount Vernon. How many of you know who the police commissioner is?
Who?
You know who the police commissioner is.
I know what it is, but I never met one.
Okay. And that. All right. How many of y'all think that we need more black cops in Mount Vernon?
To defend the black group of people.
Okay. How many of y'all think that if we had more blacks in Mount Vernon, the relationship between the community and the police will change? All right, we're gonna go down one. Why? Why would the relationship change?
It would change because probably the black people will the black cops will explain to the white cops, like introduce like to the homies, like say that black people are not a threat. They just got a darker color than you. We're all the same people. Cause nobody here is trying to be racist right now. They're just trying to say what the cops did to Eric Garner wasn't right.
Possibly, white people and black people are supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be friends, or like, I don't know, but they're supposed to be friends. They're not supposed to have war against each other. A black person can kill a white person, or a white person kill a black person. That's unfair because some people have some short time in life, and some people don't.
I think the community would change because, like, our community has, like, a lot of white cops. So if we had more black cops, it would change because, like, we have the same rights, and so the white cops thinks that, like, we're a threat in the community. So, sorry.
I think the community would change is like if some of the black cops told the white cops like black people are not a threat, and they will understand like doing the same thing. The community would change because ever since the early stages when people send black people to coal mines to dig up coal for most of their life. My other teachers in the Bronx showed me videos of that, and it touched my heart because I never been in that position, and it kind of hurt me because these people would make these kids go to coal mines, and then next thing you know, it was on the newspaper that some of these kids died because of the dust and the oxygen, and they barely had most carbon dioxide, and without carbon dioxide you could die without oxygen. Plus there's cold, so there's gonna be lots of dust in the air.
and then they would not let them out to a certain time, and that wouldn't be good. But as the years go by, and as people, like certain black people would talk for us when we couldn't talk for ourselves, like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Jesse Jackson, those were all people that led and supported the black people, and the white people were not doing anything for us.
Yes.
Yeah. Garner to say, what they did to Eric Garner is like white people, they think that we're slaves now again. So that's probably why they keep killing off black people.
Do you think if we had more black cops, it would change?
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if we had more black cops because in Eric Garner, if you look at the video, it was only white cops. We didn't see no black cops, and maybe if there was some black cops, they would have told like white cops to come back for him a little bit, let him get a little bit of oxygen. He would have never died.
I disagree and I agree because the white cops they don't like to hear it. They just do what they have to do. Everything with the black cops, they probably listen more and try to cool the situation down a little bit. And but white cops they don't want to hear nothing. They just want to do whatever they want to do. Anything they can get away with.
I think the community changed if we have more black cops because black people and black cops have been through all the same things, and white cops, I don't know why they think black people is a threat because just because of your color doesn't mean we can't get along.
Right.
I think the community will change because black people know what the other black people have been through, and they will go easy on them. Mike, I was watching another video about Mike, and then I didn't know it. Michael Brown.
Mike Brown.
Yeah, Michael Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his friend would walk into the store to go back into the store, but the cop just was coming after him. Then Mr. Jonhson put a video of Mike Brown. He was going to the store with his friends. Then the cop was following him. Then he heard the siren going on and off. Then he said, "What? That's wrong. Because if you see a cop behind you, you have to run." Then he ran. Then the cop shot him in the leg. Then he kept running. Then the cop shot him again. And then the cop ran closer to him. Then he did a couple more shots in his chest. And his friend kept running. And left him behind.
I think they shouldn't have one because the cops may think that they were kind of guilty of what they done, what they was thinking and done.
Even if they was being shot at?
Listen up. Like I told them in we had a kind of discussion. Think about these. Mike Brown was close to your age. He was what, 18 years old.
That's right.
You guys are 10, 9, 10, 11-year-olds. And like I was explaining to him, I said, if a cop pulled a gun out on me, I'll give a quick background. Mr. Jonhson, born and raised in Brooklyn. I've had a cop point a gun at me before to get me to stop where I am. Mm-hmm. Now, I was a teenager. I was 17 years old when it happened. It was a group of us. Now, I was small. I had an uncle. My uncle was a detective in Brooklyn. So he kind of schooled me on, if an officer ever took, do not move.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I always knew that. So I was going to tell my friends, because they was about to be out. They was like, yo, you about to go, we about to run. I'm like, no, don't move. And I went like this to all my friends. Don't move. And I actually got in front of them. And I told the cop, we're not going to move. And I said, yo, don't freaking move. Literally. That's right. Don't move. And he stood there, and he said, both of them had their guns at the group of us. And they slowly put it back in the holster, and they spoke to us. And I was pissed, because I knew about the law, because all these questions I could ask my uncle. And when I got back home and I spoke to him on the phone about it, he's like, that's typical. I'm saying, what you mean that's typical? I mean, that's crazy. Like, we didn't do nothing wrong. It's just a group of us walking. Yeah, we may look hood or whatever you may think, or you may think we're hoodlums, but not. But we actually was coming from basketball practice. I'm like, we're the top CYO basketball team in 17 and unders in the whole city of Brooklyn. That cop didn't know that. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
He's ready to blow our heads open.
And you didn't even see that. And he didn't even care.
He didn't care. We were walking to the Navy Yard. People walking to the Navy Yard Boys Club.
Yo, debate, right. But what did he see? How you doing? Mitchell?
Hey, Navy Joe. Yes, sir.
What did he see, though?
That's
right. The cop didn't know that this was an honor roll student. This young man was doing great things in basketball, him and his friends. You see what I'm saying? The cop didn't see that because that's not what's on us.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Nobody's walking around with, hey, honor roll student.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Nobody's walking around with the degrees that they have. I have some friends who are doctors, lawyers, and when they're not suited up and dressed and at their place of business, and they're riding around in their nice car that they bought because they have the money to buy it, because that's what we teach our children. Go to school, right? Get a good education, right? So you can get what? Good job, right?
Good car.
Right. When you get a good job, you get good money and you buy what you want. So if you feel like you want to buy a nice car, you buy yourself a nice car. But when you buy a nice car and you're riding around, you should not be fearful because the cops stop you that something's going to happen.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So they didn't see that on him. Unfortunately, but a good point that you guys made was that all they see is skin color, and they have a negative image of that because they're not affiliated with it enough to know that we're not at harm. They're not affiliated enough to know that some young black men do grow up to be 6'6", 6'4", 6'2", and they're only 17 years old.
That's right.
And they weigh 240 pounds because he's doing football or he's doing basketball. But we can't help it because you're 5'6". But they think that a gun is a weapon to equalize it, make the command or the playing field even.
That's right.
So a big guy, you're a small guy, you want to even your odds.
That's right. How many of y'all heard of Detective Ridley? Christopher Ridley. He was a detective. He was an officer here in Mount Vernon, young black officer, and he was in White Plains, and he saw one guy beat up a younger guy, beat up an older man, and he went to assist the older man, and somehow, with his gun off duty, it was a struggle between the younger guy and Detective Ridley. Detective Ridley got his gun, put the guy was on the ground, he was standing over him. County police came out and they killed Detective Ridley. And then they found out, then stories were saying that he had his badge in one hand and his gun in the other. And they didn't give him enough time to identify himself. And they shot and they killed him. So not just young men, but even black police officers are killed like that. We had a case where a sergeant in New York City was shot by his backup team. So a police officer, black cop, called for backup. Now you would think if he called for backup, they knew who they were coming to help. But they came and shot him in the back. And then the cop shot the drug dealer that he was holding because he was a witness. The cop killed him. So there wouldn't be any stories, and it went to court. So when you are a young black man, right now y'all have to understand that it is a bounty on your head. These decisions that's going across the country that have happened in the past couple of years have given police officers carte blanche to kill young black men, and they'll label it justifiable homicide that they can kill.
Anybody know what a bounty is?
The bounty hunter?
Yes, and what does it?
Wait.
Not a bounty hunter, but what is a bounty? Look at the bounty hunter after that. But
What
bounty should be able to
does the
tell you what
bounty
a
hunter
bounty
get
hunter is.
when he becomes the person?
The bounty.
And what's the bounty?
The bounty is The bounty is the target in some sort of way.
No, that's the individual that he's chasing. What is
Bounty.
the bounty?
What's the bounty?
Money. Oh,
Money.
the dough that you get.
Right. So when he says that there's a bounty on our young black men
If like
on your head, what does that tell you?
if like
Right.
if a person died and it's a crime and you found it out first, they give you much more money to add to the money you have now.
Kind of,
You
sort
get
of.
more richer.
Who knows? What is the bounty on your head? If I say there's a bounty on your head, what am I saying?
Then if the officer shoots me, if somebody shoots me, then the officer finds out that I'm dead. He gets money off of me.
That's what it is. A bounty is a price that somebody, an individual or an organization, will put on your head, on an individual or on anything.
That's right.
That they want to acquire.
And they don't have to just kill you.
Right.
They can lock you up, put you in
Capture.
jail.
Exactly.
And many young black men are locked up in jail. There's more black men locked up in jail in the United States than there is black men locked up in jail in the rest of the world.
Yes.
Understand that. Understand that. It's very serious. That's why groups like this, where you have these brothers wanting to talk to y'all and give y'all information, is very important. Education is very important. Yes, ma'am.
Like, if a cop kill a cop, was he go to jail? The cops that killed him.
No. If it's a black cop, no. The same, what's going on with Eric Garner and Mike Brown and all that is the same going on if they kill a black cop. The same way they treated Mike Brown's family and Eric Garner's family is the same way they treated Detective Ridley's family or Omar Grant's family, police officer that was killed while they were out there trying to do the job that they're supposed to do. So they treat them the same way. They go through the same process when they find the person, the police officer, not guilty. And they found that we see that the police unions would side with the white cop and dirty up the black cop. So it doesn't matter. Even if you're law enforcement, you are looked at as the person that's in the wrong when the white cop decides to shoot you. Yeah.
Can I say something about
Mm-hmm.
something about
Go ahead.
when I went on the internet, I read all about him. And then some of the information said that day that he died, he was coming from the store with his friend. And then on the video, his friend had explained what happened about when they were walking, that when the cop car came, and the cop told them to stop. Then Mr. Jonhson said that when a cop car comes and he tells you to stop for some reason, your thing you had to say is run. And that's what some people do, they will run. And what Mike Brown did, he ran, and when he got that first shot, he got on his knees, he put his hand up, then the police officer kept firing at him until he killed him.
Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm curious, what did the video make y'all feel about police after seeing more videos?
It makes you feel like you can't trust no police officer unless you know. It means you can't trust certain officers, like white officers.
Well, just white officers or officers in general?
Officers in general.
White officers in general.
Mm-hmm. Officers in general.
The
Well,
officer down there, his name is Officer Shipping.
uh-huh.
You know him?
No.
How do you feel about him? Do you trust him?
I trust him. My mom knew him in high school.
Okay. So y'all. So,
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I played basketball at LA Fitness last night, and a friend of mine, his name is John, he's an officer in New York City, and I was like, "We have an interesting day today." And he's like, "I don't think you understand." He said, "My area is Grand Central."
oh yeah.
And he's like,
oh my
protesters.
God.
He's like, "Listen, one lady threw something at me every day." He says, "But they have to understand, whether you black or white, they just all cops are bad at this point. All they see is blue. They're not seeing the color."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said that, a lot of his friends that are of Caucasian descent and all that stuff, a lot of them is giving him opinion about how they feel about cops, and he's like, "Listen, man, you forgot I'm a cop. How you just gonna just like play my job like that? Like, that's one cop. That's not everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of sides to this whole thing and what's going on, but the whole purpose of me and Mr. Ramsey showing the video is let them understand currently what's going on in our world.
That's right.
You know, you guys are very oblivious to what's going on because a lot of you guys are stuck in this one bubble in Mount Vernon. You're not thinking that, okay, this stuff like this can happen in Mount Vernon.
That's
it can happen
right. Oh, it has happened in Mount Vernon.
And it has happened. See, I didn't know that.
The 12-year-old kid
today.
The 12-year-old?
Where?
They got hit with arrested for being in the school.
That got hit in the head, 12-year-old kid. I mean, it could have been one of y'all. Well, the janitors left one of the doors open in the school. Kids go in and start playing. They trip off the alarm or something, and the cops respond, and they put the kids in handcuffs, and they put them down on the ground. Sergeant comes, hits the kid in the back of the head, split the back of his head open.
While he's laying down on
While he's laying down on
a 12-year-old.
A 12-year-old. So it can happen to y'all, and it has happened to y'all here in Mount Vernon. You know, his name is Sergeant Monticelli. And he was put on death duty, and the lawsuit, he had 2 lawsuits against him. He currently costs the city $923,000 of taxpayer dollars. Ernie Davis put him back on the street, and he was one of the cops that shot the mentally ill man.
On Mount Vernon Avenue, yeah.
Wow.
On Stevenson Avenue. Stevenson Avenue, yeah.
Stevenson Avenue.
That's pretty good about everybody.
Yeah,
that was another story.
Let's not talk about it.
That's another forum.
Right.
But it's funny. But you guys have brought up a valid point. When they're and I'm saying this because a friend of mine, you know, he texted me yesterday, and he said that. But he said, and what Mr. Jonhson and Mr. Ramsey was doing here, what we all come to the conclusion is, what I'm seeing is that, regardless of your color, when you're in the uniform of a police officer, you're blue. You're on that side. But when you take off that uniform and you go to your own community, whether you're Chinese, Asian, whatever, as a black, coming in back into the black community, you back here now. So if they come to your house because of something, they don't see that you're a cop.
No, they don't.
All they see is a black man, there's a dispute, and they have to handle the situation.
That's right.
So when you put your uniform, like he said, he was at his friend was at Grand Central, the lady threw some stuff at him. They don't see that he's a black man, they see he's a cop.
That's right.
You can kill my son, this, that, and the other. But when he take that uniform off, let him go in the locker room and come right out of Grand Central.
Did she what? Right.
His own fellow officers, like you said, will be looking at him for
of course.
You see what I'm saying? And it's really sad. But what we're doing here is we want you guys to understand that you have to be very careful with what you do and what you say
Yes. Please.
out here in society. Okay?